Hello YouTube, my name is Nick, and this is going to be the end of the year video. Woo. I did a list last year, and this is going to be the list for this year. So, this is going to be 25 through 11, next video is going to be 10 through 1. I didn't make as many videos as I wanted to this year, but you know, things happen. But I can't resist making these, because these are probably the most fun to make. Get to play around with all your albums and vinyl and whatnot, and let them duke it out, see who wins. So, let's get it started. Number 25, Drowning the Light from the Abyss. There's probably going to be a little more glare than usual because it's dark outside, and the light's on, so the light in here is making more light than outside, whatever. So, I'll try my best to point it in an appropriate direction, but Drowning the Light, very awesome black metal band. This is very different from their previous work because it's kind of folky. There's a new guy in this, it's not a one-man band anymore, and since he came around, it's a lot different than what you'd expect from Drowning the Light. Very cool art on the disc, very cool art on the cover. So yeah, Drowning the Light from the Abyss, awesome. Hopefully everyone knows about that one. Number 24, Clara, The Cleansing. This one kind of blew my pants off the first time I heard it. This is some of my favorite kind of black metal. Ultra clean sounding picks, kind of high pitched, but also still kind of a clear production value, but it's not too clear. But the drums on this kind of sound a little too mechanical for my taste, or it would have been higher, because the guitars on this are just so dang good. They're catchy, they're delicious, amazing riffs, just every song on this is awesome. Check out the song Effigy of Insolence, one of the best songs of the year. So yeah, Clara, The Cleansing, it's 24. 23, this is easily the most unique album to come out this year, and I hope everyone knows about this band eventually. This is Dendritic Arbor with Romantic Love. What a title. So, it is pretty much impossible to put this into a genre. This is kind of like really, I guess, grimy grindcore mixed with like some black metal influences, with some death metal, with some post metal, with some electronic music. Every song on here is awesome. Every song on here is incredibly different from each other. Like, take the song Horizontal Key, Vertical Gate, which is the greatest innuendo title ever. It's complete opposite from the song E-Waste. This is not very long, but my god. Check these guys out if you haven't heard of them. You probably can't even see the name. Dendritic Arbor with Romantic Love is number 23. Number 22, Embodied Torment, Liturgy of Ritual Execution. I listen to a lot of brutal death metal, a lot of slam, and this is one of my favorites of the year. I just can't get enough of this. If you don't break your neck listening to this, then you're probably not listening to it right. The gutturals on this album are so disgusting. They sound inhuman. Trash can lid, snare tone all the way through. Great heavy guitars. Even on the last song, they kind of change up the guitar tone a lot to a more delicious, thick, robust, clean sound, if that makes sense. But yeah, just amazing brutal death metal released by New Standard Elite. So check these guys out. Embodied Torment. That is number 22. Number 21, Virial, Organic Universe. Virial is a two-man band with the guy from Hideous Divinity doing session drums on it. And this is some very high-class, masterful death metal with some brutal and also a little bit of technical influences. Just such a solid album. It's not too stand out, but everything on this is so solid that you just have to keep listening to it. The thing that I love the most about this probably has to be the vocal deliveries. They're so dang guttural that, like, it's one of the most unique gutturals I've heard too, because it's not just all like phlegm or inhales or whatever. But God, this album is so good. Check out Virial, Organic Universe. That is 21. Number 20, Monotony Fields by Shape of Despair. I haven't listened to a ton of Shape of Despair's back catalog, but this album is gorgeous. This is one of the most depressing, heavy, just sonically brutal albums that I've heard in a long time. Like, this is some super heavy funeral doom with some like atmospheric doom metal influences. There's a male vocalist and a female vocalist, and they both do a superb job. Her vocals on some of these songs, like Descending Inner Night and Longing, are just gives you chills, gives you the feel goods and the feel bads inside. Super heavy, super depressing. If you love funeral doom or stuff like My Dying Bride, you'll love this. Number 19, Sulfur Aeon, Gateway to the Antisphere. I'll take it out of the slipcase so you can actually see the artwork, because it's amazing artwork. Hopefully everyone knows who Sulfur Aeon is. If you watch The Infidel, then you know about this album. Pretty intense, kind of old school style death metal with some just all around amazing musicianship, songwriting, lyrics, artwork. This is like the total package death metal band. If you haven't heard of these guys, you've probably been living under a rock, because their last album was a masterpiece, and so was this one. So definitely check out Sulfur Aeon. Gateway to the Antisphere is number 19. Number 18. This probably would have been higher up if I listened to it more, but I kind of got it a little late. I almost forgot about it even. This is Behold Total Rejection by Revenge. Revenge is probably not probably about it. They are the biggest war metal band. They essentially invented it with Conqueror. And this album will just rip your head off. It will murder you. It will leave you wondering why you even listen to this. It's so violent. It's almost to the point where it's not music anymore. It's so violent, bestial, horrible sounding music meant for broken people. So if you know Revenge, I don't have to say any more about this. Believe the hype behind this album. This probably is my favorite Revenge album. So that's number 18, Behold Total Rejection. Number 17, Illustrium, A Tunnel to Eden. Wow. Also, this artwork. If I can get it without glaring it, no, screw it. I'll just put a link in there somewhere so you can look at the artwork, because it's pretty special in my opinion. This is some very intricate, well thought out, high class tech death with some progressive death metal influences. Think, if you will, to a Legion, or maybe like a mix between them and the Faceless or something, came together with Spires from my last list and made this album. It's extremely long, but it goes by like that. It's extremely well written, like I said. Everything just sounds great. It has almost crystal clear production. Drums, guitars, just out of control. Like, just take my word for it on this one. There aren't many more adjectives I can add to this that'll sell it better. So if you like stuff like a Legion, check these guys out. Illustrium, A Tunnel to Eden is 17. Number 16, Infernal War, with Axiom. This is probably my favorite ultra-violent release of this year. I've listened to this so many times, like, I can almost, like, just hear it playing in my head. I've listened to it so much. Every song on here is so dang violent. Like, the only thing they could compare to this is Revenge, and this isn't exactly war metal, but it's dang close, and some people could even call it war metal. Excuse me. But yeah, this album is just so dang violent. It's like black and thrash metal from I don't know where. It's just violent, man. If you know any of their previous albums, you'll know what to get into with this. You will not be disappointed with Axiom. If you liked Redesecration, you'll like this one, because this is on par with that album in my opinion. So number 16, Axiom by Infernal War. Number 15, the Antichrist Imperium self-titled debut. Now, if you don't know anything about this band, it's essentially a long-awaited continuation of Ackercock, which is one of my favorite bands ever. I have all their albums. I have all of the iterations. I even have all the stuff from Voices, the other project that involve a lot of these guys. And this album kind of shows the more death metal, kind of brutal, in-your-face kind of Ackercock songwriting style, but you still get that delicious progressive style that you get with Ackercock or Voices, except a little more raw, a little more ruthless, a little more disgusting. An amazing artwork, by the way. I have this on vinyl, and I didn't want to show the vinyl because the artwork. It's a different artwork. Just look it up if you don't trust me. But yeah, great blackened death metal with some progressive influences, great acoustics, great vocals, man. I can't get enough of these guys. Everything that these guys are a part of is amazing. So that's number 15, Antichrist Imperium, self-titled. Number 14, Four Phantoms, Bell Witch. This is one of the heaviest albums I think I've ever heard, production-wise. Some people think it's a little boring when stuff gets super ultra heavy. I disagree. This album is so stupid heavy that I can listen to it any time of the year, any time of the day, no matter what mood I'm in. If I just want something to lean back on and just listen to that I don't really have to focus on, I listen to this. It's a really long funeral doom, sludgy kind of metal. It's kind of hard to put in a single genre because there's a lot of influences in this, but if you know their last album, I think it was called Longing? I don't remember, but that album was amazing. Great production, huge sounding album. It's just hard to beat stuff like this. These guys are going to be bigger than they already are, and I'm pretty sure this is a two-man project, bass and drums only. Super heavy, really great album. I'm trying to go a little faster through this because I don't have a lot of time to do this, so pardon me if I'm going a little too fast. Number 13, Dead to a Dying World, Litany. Whew. This album blew my mind. I heard Dead to a Dying World's last album, and this is leagues above their previous work. Dead to a Dying World is kind of like a crust black metal band with strings, which is awesome. And by strings I mean like orchestra, symphony kind of stuff, and it's all real. There's no simulated symphonics on this. Extremely long album. Gorgeous songwriting. Arrangements are perfect. It never gets boring, even though it is really long. This is my favorite kind of stuff to listen to this time of year, when it's cold and dreary out. Just super long, kind of depressing, delicious sounding metal of any genre, really. So it is kind of hard to put this in a single genre, because you could almost like consider this neoclassical if you think hard enough. But yeah, this if you don't know these guys, check them out. Dead to a Dying World with Litany is number 13. Number 12, Infinite Decay by Perihelion. Perihelion is a band just starting out, and they kind of play a technical death metal, deathcore kind of sound. And these guys 100% will blow up one day. I know I keep saying that about some of these bands, but a lot of these albums I'm showing in this video and my previous video are either amazing follow-ups or amazing debuts. And this is not a super long album, but every song on here is so well written that I've listened to this album more than probably 99% of the albums on this list. It never gets old. They're super catchy. The guy's vocals are just so powerful and demanding, and he owns it. So, and if you don't like technical deathcore, you will not like this at all. There's a lot of deathcore influences on some songs. Some songs there's not even really any. And to be honest, there's some really innovative songwriting on this. Like, check out the song Predomination if you get the chance. I'm going to leave links to all these bands that I can find in the description, like I did for my last video, except for The Night, because I couldn't find anywhere to listen to that song. So, Perihelion with Infinite Decay is number 12. Check those guys out for real. And the last one for this video, Veld Demonic, The Art of Dentalion, released by Lacerated Enemy. This album is some incredible older school style of death metal / brutal death metal with crazy good production. Every instrument on this is out of control. Guitars, the drums, the vocals are very unique. There's some female vocals on this. Great artwork. I mean, Veld is the total package, in my opinion. I don't remember if this is a sophomore or not, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But this album is just so good. I don't know if you can get this anymore. I'm almost certain you can, though. It's limited to 300. There's probably different pressings of this by now. But this album is just super catchy. It's pretty long. Never gets old. Crazy fast drums. Great guitars. Really unique vocal styles. There's some sampling. There's some vocal manipulation. Really satanic stuff. Or maybe not satanic. Maybe just anti-religious. But yeah, definitely check out Veld. That is my number 11 of this year. It was in the top 10, but it got narrowly beaten out by, of course, another album. So that is going to be the end of this part. I'm going to try to upload this and then do the next video because my phone doesn't have enough storage for that much video time. So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you found something cool that you didn't know about. Sorry, this might be a little too fast for you, but I didn't want it to be like a half-an-hour video. So I'll see you in the next part, and I'll see you next time.